Natural resources: land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife. Introduction. In the previous chapter, you've studied a brief about the different resources: land, water, soil, vegetation and wildlife. All these are natural resources, and in this chapter you will study about these natural resources in detail. Land resources. Among all the natural resources, land is the most important, as the human beings obtain most of their needs from it. Land is used for cultivation of crops. It is used for mining. Mountains, plateaus, and plains are major landforms of the land. People prefer to live on plains than on mountains and plateaus. The transportation and communication lines are also laid down on the land. Land use. Use of land for different purposes, such as cultivation of crops, grazing of animals, building houses and roads, mining and manufacturing, is called land use pattern. The proportion of land put to different uses varies from region to region. It is referred to as land use pattern. Factors influencing the land use pattern are physical factors. These include topography, soil, climate, availability of water and mineral resources, etc. Economic and human factors. These include total population of the region, industrialization, level of development, etc. Here is a table which is showing land use pattern in selected countries. Click on the country to see land use pattern. Soil as a resource. Soil is the uppermost layer of the Earth's crust. It is the most important renewable natural resource. Soil is the medium for plant growth. Plants provide foods for all land creatures. Many microorganisms are found in the soils. Factors affecting soil formation. Parent rock. The surface rocks are exposed to the process of weathering and suffer decay and decomposition. In this process, the rocks are converted into fine grains and provide a base for soil formation. For example, the soils of northern plains of India have been largely formed by river deposits. These are very fine particles of soil called alluvium, found in the plains, several kilometers away from their parent rocks. On the other hand, the soils of peninsular plateau are generally coarse-grained and are closely related to the parent rock. Relief. Steep slope encourages the swift flow of water, so steep slopes usually have a thin soil layer. These areas of low relief or gentle slope generally experience deposition and have a deep layer of soil. Climate. Both the chemical and biological processes in the soil are usually accelerated by high temperatures and abundant moisture. Natural vegetation. The decayed leaf material adds much needed humus to the soil, increasing its fertility. The roots hold the soil and thus prevent erosion. Soil erosion. When the rate of removal of topsoil exceeds the rate of addition of fresh soil, and below the thickness of the soil layer starts decreasing, such a high rate of removal of the soil is called soil erosion. Causes of soil erosion are deforestation. When vegetation is removed, the soil surface becomes loose and can be more easily removed by running water and wind. Overgrazing of land. In many parts of India, hillsides have become barren because of overgrazing by goats and other animals. Improper farming techniques. Plowing fields in traditional up and down manner along the slopes makes it easier for running water and wind to cause erosion. Wind and rainfall. Rainfall dissolves the chemicals in the soil and removes them to far-off places. The high velocity of wind also causes soil erosion. Conservation of soil. Methods to conserve soil. Afforestation. The process of planting trees is called afforestation. Plants not only keep the soil particles bound, but also reduce the rate and velocity of runoff. These also enrich soil by adding organic matter and circulating nutrients from the lower layers to the upper layers of the soil. Contour barriers. Stones, grass, soil are used to build barriers along contours. Trenches are made in front of the barriers to collect water. Rock dam. These are piled up to slow down the flow of water. This prevents gullies and further soil loss. Terrace farming. These are made on steep slopes so that flat surfaces are available to grow crops. They can reduce surface runoff and soil erosion. Intercropping. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rain wash. Contour plowing. Plowing parallel to the contours of a high slope to form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope. Shelter belts. In the coastal and dry regions, rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect the soil cover. Water resources. About 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. About 97% of Earth's water is in the oceans and seas. 2% of fresh water is in the frozen form at the poles and in glaciers at high altitude areas. Whereas only 1% of fresh water is found in rivers, lakes, streams, or underground aquifers. Water is a renewable resource. Some water evaporates from the oceans and other large bodies of water. It returns to the earth as rain, snow, and other kinds of precipitation. This process is called the water cycle. Importance of water. Water is necessary for all forms of life on earth. The human body contains about 65% of water. Plants depend on water for growth. Water is important for industries. It is used for cooling, cleaning, air conditioning, and even as a raw material in things like beverages, canned food, dyeing, etc. It is an important source of hydropower. Water is used by people for transportation. Most of trade with the overseas countries is still carried out through shipping. People also use water for recreation, such as boating, fishing, and swimming. Factors responsible for water scarcity. Shortage of water as compared to its demand is known as water scarcity. Let's discuss some of the main factors responsible for this problem. Growing population. A large population means more water is needed not only for domestic use but also to produce more food. Commercialization of agriculture. After the success of the Green Revolution, our farmers are producing commercial crops which need more water and other inputs. Assured means of irrigation like tube wells and wells are responsible for the falling groundwater levels. Variation in seasonal and annual precipitation. Precipitation is the main source of water in India, but arrival and departure of the monsoon in India is uncertain. Even the distribution of rainfall is uneven. Industrialization and urbanization. Industries, apart from heavy users of water, also require power to run them. Much of the energy comes from hydroelectric power. Most of the cities are overpopulated. Overpopulation is responsible for overutilization of water resources and also pollutes the existing resources. Pollution. Pollution of water resources is another factor which is responsible for water scarcity. Domestic waste and industrial waste are main factors responsible for pollution of water. Overexploitation and mismanagement of water resources is causing an ecological crisis. So, the need of the hour is to conserve and manage the water resources. Conservation of water. Following steps have been taken up to conserve water. Surface runoff can be slowed down by forest and other vegetation cover to improve underground storage. Rainwater harvesting technique should be used. Irrigation through sprinklers and drip irrigation can be useful irrigation techniques to save water. In industries, recycled water may be used for cooling purposes. Effluents should be treated before disposing them. In domestic use, wastewater of kitchen may be used for gardens. Natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation refers to a plant community which has grown naturally without human aid and has been left undisturbed by human beings for a long time. Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in a narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere known as biosphere. In biosphere, living beings are interrelated and interdependent on each other for survival. This life-supporting system is known as the ecosystem. Importance of vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation supports critical functions in the biosphere. Vegetation strongly affects soil characteristics including soil volume, chemistry, and texture. Vegetation serves as wildlife habitat and the energy source for the vast array of animal species on the planet. Vegetation is also critically important to the world economy particularly in the use of fossil fuels as an energy source. Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, as well as aquatic life forms. They provide us milk, meat, hides, and wool. Insects like bees provide us honey, help in pollination of flowers, and have an important role to play as decomposers in the ecosystem. So animals, big or small, all are integral to maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Distribution of natural vegetation. The major vegetation types of the world are grouped as forests, grasslands, scrubs, tundra. Forests are found in areas of heavy rainfall. As the amount of moisture decreases, the size of trees and their density reduce. In the regions of moderate rainfall, short, stunted trees and grasses are found. Thorny shrubs and scrubs grow in dry areas of low rainfall. In such areas, plants have deep roots to get their moisture deep within the earth, and leaves have thorny and waxy surfaces to reduce the loss of moisture by transpiration. Tundra vegetation of cold polar regions comprises of mosses and lichens. Forests are also classified as evergreen and deciduous, depending on when they shed their leaves. The forests in which trees do not shed their leaves simultaneously in any season of the year are called evergreen forests. Deciduous forests shed their leaves in a particular season to conserve loss of moisture through transpiration. These forests are further classified as tropical or temperate based on their location in different latitudes. Conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural wildlife and vegetation is our wealth. Both plants and animals together maintain the ecosystem, which is very important for our survival. Both natural vegetation and wildlife is under threat due to the natural as well as man-made factors. Many species have become vulnerable or endangered, and some are on the verge of extinction. Some of the threats to these great natural resources are deforestation, soil erosion, mining, industrialization, constructional activities, forest fires, tsunami, and landslides. Poaching, that is, the illegal hunting, fishing, trapping, or eating of wild animals is another factor responsible for extinction of many animals. To preserve these resources, awareness programs like social forestry, joint forest management, and Van Mahotsav should be encouraged at the regional and community level. Strict laws to check poaching should be formulated.